What does Zionism actually mean?
That's the question Rabbi Ari D. Berman, president of Yeshiva University, sets out to answer in a guest essay for the New York Times, and his answer may surprise people on both sides of today's culture wars. In parts of America and Europe, Berman writes, the word Zionism has been reduced to little more than a protest slogan. For some it's a badge of pride, for others it's shorthand for anger toward Israel and its supporters. Either way, the dimensionality of the term has been flattened, and it has, in his words, effectively lost its meaning in the larger public.
So what is Zionism, properly understood?
Berman defines it as the belief that the Jewish people possess the right to live freely in their ancestral homeland, to shape their own future, defend their dignity, preserve their civilization, and contribute their values and wisdom to humanity.
Critically, a Jewish homeland is not understood as a place for Jews alone.
It is envisioned as a vehicle for building a flourishing society for all its residents, Jews and non-Jews alike, rooted in what he calls the core Torah values of human dignity, justice, and compassion.
Berman traces the idea's origins far deeper than modern politics.
He begins with the book of Genesis, where God blesses Abraham and his descendants with a land from which they would be a blessing to, in the biblical phrase, all the families of the earth. That promise sustained the Israelites through 400 years of bondage in Egypt, inspired their return to Canaan, and gave rise to the first Jewish commonwealth, which grew under King Solomon into a center of commerce, wisdom, and morality. When the Jews were expelled, first by the Babylonians, then by the Romans, collective mourning for the land became embedded in Jewish religious life. To this day, Berman notes, Jews pray 3 times daily for a return to the land, and include thanksgiving for it in blessings after meals. That unbroken longing, he argues, is the deep root from which the modern Zionist movement eventually grew.
The modern chapter began in earnest in 1896 with Theodor Herzl's landmark text, Der Judenstaat, the Jewish State. Writing in the aftermath of violent pogroms in Russia and the anti-Semitic spectacle of the Dreyfus Affair in France, Herzl believed that only a state of their own could free Jews from the constraints of physical fear and generations of professional and social discrimination. He envisioned a Jewish state that would benefit all of humanity, writing that whatever Jews attempted there for their own benefit would, in his words, redound mightily and beneficially to the good of all mankind. Berman's essay is ultimately a call for clarity, a reminder that Zionism predates the modern state of Israel by decades, and its spiritual and cultural roots stretch back centuries further still. In an era when the word is weaponized by all sides, he argues, reclaiming its actual meaning is not just an academic exercise. It is an act of basic honesty. That's the view from Rabbi Ari Berman in the New York Times. Thanks for listening.